just when I thought we were done talking about the L87 6.2 liter engine recall. Welcome back to Donslife and welcome to the channel. There's another issue that's been talked about in my comment section, as well as in various forums and other YouTube videos, and I have to ask myself, should I be worried about this too? Well, today we're going to unpack what's really going on, as well as a small surprise I noticed after our recent recall visit. Let's go. We are back from a 3-week holiday. Mrs. Donslife and I went to check out Europe for the first time. We had a great time, and I am fighting a head cold. I'm at the tail end of it, which makes me sound a little weirder than usual, just a little. So as many of you know, Mrs. Donslife had her 2022 Cadillac Escalade Sport Platinum go through the inspection test for her recall. It passed, and as a result of passing, she received the oil change to the new spec, the 0W40 Supercar oil. Now, one of the questions that comes to most people's minds is, with the higher viscosity oil, how is this going to affect fuel economy? Now, I have had the opportunity to go on some road trips before and after Europe with the vehicle, run a few tanks of fuel through it, going on longer highway trips, and I do have a rough estimate on what this does to fuel economy. Now, this may not be as dramatic as many of you are thinking, but there is a change. I've seen a decrease in efficiency by about 1 or 2%. Now, I acknowledge that is a few dollars per tank. Now, keep in mind there's a ton of variables that make this difficult to test. We have terrain, we have temperature, we have passengers, we have wind resistance, even tire pressure can play a part. So while it's a small change, it is something that I wanted to keep you in the loop about, and I will continue to update you as we get to do more and more testing, especially through the winter. Now let's talk about another subject that's been generating a lot of confusion. Something related to the 10-speed transmission in both my 2021 GMC Sierra AT4, as well as my wife's 2022 Cadillac Escalade Sport Platinum. There's been a lot of talk about transmission recalls that affect these vehicles, specifically about a faulty valve body. The problem is there's actually 2 service bulletins floating around, and not all of them apply to the gas engines, which is what we have with the 6.2. The 2 service bulletins are N242454440, which is diesel only engines, and then N242454441, which is gas 6.2 liters under certain conditions. So here's the deal. If you own a 6.2 liter gas engine like I do, you're potentially eligible for special coverage under the bulletin N242454441. But there's a catch. GM will only cover the transmission if it sets a specific code, DTC P0747. If you didn't know what the symptoms were that could lead to this code, I've listed a number of them here, so I'll just rattle through them really quickly. Harsh shifting is one of them, reduced engine or vehicle performance, a service engine soon warning light, obviously the code P0747. In rare cases, you may have a momentary lockup of the rear wheels while driving. You may also receive the message, reduced propulsion. But again, no code, no special coverage. Now, if you are experiencing any of those symptoms, of course, go get them checked out with your dealer. Just remember, the active recall is for the diesel engines with the 10-speed transmissions. I have the gas engines in both our vehicles with the 10-speed transmissions. So there's a bulletin that addresses this. And if I was to have those symptoms, the dealer would need to confirm the DTC code or the issue, run our VINs through GM system, and determine which valve body variants we have. If it matches, then they could replace those parts under warranty, which are only recently starting to become available for this service. I feel really bad for the people that were waiting several months for these parts. And the fix is replacing an aluminum component with a steel version, as well as a stiffer spring. And thanks to one of my viewers for highlighting a video that recently shows what these parts look like and gives you a little more information as to what I'm talking about. I'll link that video in the video description below. So while our vehicles don't show this fault, if it ever pops up, then we'll likely get the same fix that the diesel trucks and SUVs are already seeing. It's not something to panic about, but it's worth understanding, which is why I'm talking about it. Finally, I just wanted to share something from another YouTuber's video, JB Reviews, where he talks to a GM mechanic with a lot of experience working on L87 6.2 liter engines. I'll give you a quick summary of the video, even though I'm going to pay attention to one very specific part of it. In this video, you see a 6.2 liter engine that did not pass inspection. However, it was running fine at the time, and it had low mileage. Upon closer inspection of this engine, with the intake manifold removed, you could see quite a bit of buildup or residue on the intake valves. I'm just gonna play a small clip from this video and then come back and share the rest of my thoughts.
Got you. So now on this engine, you said this is the exhaust valve on this side, right? Yeah. You have your flashlight? I want people to see here really quickly. So if you can see those valves in there, those valves are actually pretty clean. Now on this side, you have the intake valves. Let me see real quick. Hopefully you guys can see in there. If you can't, there's actually some residue. You can probably see that residue right there, for sure.
Yeah, there's just oil from the PCV system.
Uh-huh.
So whenever there's positive crankcase pressure, the oil comes out, and like on performance cars, you have like a catch can, so it doesn't go back into the intake.
Ah.
But these ones, there's a little pipe that goes straight back into the intake, and then it goes back on.
Got you. So in other words, if you are watching this video, if there's a catch can available for your 6.2, that should be the first thing you add to this engine for sure.
His advice, add an oil catch can or oil separator catch can. That lines up perfectly with what I've been saying since I installed one on my 2021 GMC Sierra. I'm not telling you to buy an oil separator catch can, that's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is adding one only adds net positive results. Now I'm considering one for Mrs. Donslife Escalade, especially after watching that video. To me, it really reinforces the benefit of keeping the top end of your engine clean. You guys remember my truck tiers. This is the crap that came out of the PCV system that's supposed to burn off, returning to the top end of the engine. These vapors turn into that buildup that you saw in the video. I don't know about you, but I'd like to give my intake valves all the help they can get at staying clean and sealing properly. It's really a small upgrade that can keep your engine running clean for the long run. So there's my update for you. Let me know in the comment section what you think. If you've had the recall and you have the 0W40 oil because your engine passed the inspection, have you seen a noticeable decrease in fuel mileage? I know the audience as well as myself would love to learn what your findings are. And also, did you have the 10-speed transmission issue and what happened exactly? Do you have the gas engine or do you have the diesel? Drop your experiences in the comment section below. I read them and it also helps everyone in the community. So thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to check out the new donslife.com website. It's a repository for everything you need Donslife. And stay tuned because we have another DIY mod coming for my 2021 GMC Sierra AT4. Working on that video right now. But if you like this video, hit that like button. Please consider subscribing and we'll talk to you next time.